guys. It's the Man United agenda, and yeah, it's post-match. Should have been an easy game, but we made hard work of it. Sheffield United 4-2 we won eventually. I'm delighted to be joined by Stefan again. Stefan, where have you been? My friend?
I'm here, man. I've been a little bit inactive, just in general on my own channel and stuff. But I'm all good now. I'm back. I'm back to it. I've had a very busy couple of weeks with work and different stuff, but all good now, and thankfully 3 points in the bag.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Just quickly, did you guys manage to watch the game? Because I scarped it last minute, turned on Discovery, or not Discovery, what's the channel called? The XBT channel, and it wasn't there. I was thinking, where are they showing this game? Went to Sky Sports, they're showing a Liverpool game. So I had to pull out the Fire Stick and watch it. What about you guys? Did you manage to watch it okay, bath time?
Yeah, I managed to see it fine with perfectly legal methods.
Okay.
I was just wondering, Stefan, has your inactivity had anything to do with Baldur's Gate 3?
No. I wish it had, but no, it hadn't.
Have you finished it?
No, honestly, man, I haven't finished. I think, what was the point I told you I got up to? It's just confronting the elder brain. Yeah, that's literally where I am now. I'm still there.
Okay.
I haven't played it in a while. I'll have to pick it up. I'm gonna have to maybe go back a little bit just to refresh.
So what? Pick it up again. With a title like Baldur's Gate 3, is that an adventure game or something like Tomb Raider or I don't know.
Dungeons and Dragons among them.
Yeah.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. And by the way, this summer, guys, we will be doing a live Dungeons and Dragons on this show. I think, Stefan, you're involved in this, aren't you?
Yes, I've been throwing a little bit of weight behind it, but it's definitely bath times.
Yeah.
Idea. I'm just a supporter of it. Yeah, well, I'm just supporting. I'm supporting him. That's what we'll go with.
Oh, come on! I mean, it's much better than talking about this Man United team. To be perfectly honest,
it'll be better than just talking about the 250th player we're not going to sign this summer, or just it'll be some night. It'll be some night. They'll be telling us Bale's coming out of retirement. Wesley Sneijder's going to pick the boots up again and come for us, and we'll just be like, nah, we'll do D&D tonight.
You know what, Stefan and Bath time. I've watched the game and I was playing music, and I've lost a little bit of heart. My team.
Yeah,
I'm taking it in. I'm still watching, but I'm just not enjoying anymore. And that we're coming to the stage of season where the only game for me is the FA Cup final. I'm building myself up to that. So this show will be, a bit of a review of what happened, but with not so much energy from my end anyway. I don't know about you guys, but let's see what they're saying in the comments. Bart saying here, yay, finally a positive goal difference to celebrate. See what I mean? All right, and Andrew's telling don't do that. Don't say that. I don't think I'll stay tonight. The game isn't worth talking about. Absolute garbage. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Different account. Okay, let's see what else saying. Oi, guys, says Big G. This is my mod. Okay, all right. Ten Hag is magic, said we deserve better. Is he being sarcastic there?
I think he loves Ten Hag. Okay. I think he's been genuine.
Okay, good. Big G saying not another Dungeons and Dragon nutcase. Yes, unfortunately, we all are on the agenda. We all agree. Kieran saying here we were still awful without the penalty. We might not have won this game. So Ten Hag's still out. There you go. We deserve better, saying as you were, guys. No doubt about it. We're still here. We're just going to continue what we're doing. Once when Jay came on the show, said Bart, the admin blocked my other account on this channel too, and how we never got to 8 tonight. Sheffield wins, or Sheffield United were woeful. And Kieran, how you doing, Kieran? Said forget the cup final, we'll get it destroyed. Oh God, don't blow my buzz. That's the only thing I've got to look forward to the rest of the season. All right, guys, where do we start? Starting lineup, I saw Eriksen rise up into the first team. Thoughts on that? I mean, where's he come out of the blue? Because he hasn't been playing for ages, Stefan. How come Eriksen's getting into the side all of a sudden? What's all that about?
Lack of options, man. I mean, McTominay was not meant to be in the squad tonight as well. I don't think.
Why is that?
I'm pretty sure he got injured at the weekend.
Okay.
Well, injured at Chelsea, and Chelsea hasn't really recovered from it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Ericsson's just come out of nowhere. Like I think they said in commentary, first start in 3 months.
Wow.
I think
How
it's just
must he feel?
what is it? Sorry.
How must he feel, Ericsson? He's an
Oh
international player. He's had a great career. He's super talented. How do you think he's feeling? 3
yeah. I mean,
months. God damn it.
we had talk about him going in January to Turkey. I think it was Galatasaray or Fenerbahce or something. Like there was talk about that.
Get his hair done. He had
Maybe.
it shaved tonight.
I know. I know.
I think Ericsson is probably like the three of us, where because we don't have anything really to play for, and
Yeah.
there's nothing at stake, and we've been embarrassed a lot, in the last couple of months. It's been never ending masochism that I think he probably just is going through the motions the way I kind of felt when I was watching that game. I felt that I was just going through the motions. It was a sort of a nothing game, and yet the players were still pissing me off. I've got to be honest. And
I know you'll be going in on some players here and about the performance as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from that about that half time, most certainly. Ericsson, what do you think is going on with him? Because I asked Stefan, what's going on with Ericsson? Why has he not played for 3 months?
I think the issue is that the way we set that midfield up, Ericsson, whilst he's got a very good work rate and he does put far more miles under the belt than you would think, he's
Right.
not able to defend the spaces vertically or horizontally that midfield has, and he's not able to get back. So you're like, if you've got Casemiro there, you can't really play Ericsson because there's no mobility and things like that. And I think that Kobe Mainu probably offers a similar sort of style of control on the ball, passing options, like being able to sort of find little gaps in between the lines. And so I think that Ericsson is kind of last year's model. And I think it's really sad because last year I felt he was our best midfielder. I think that when he played with McTominay, I think that they were both really good. And I think when he played with Casemiro, they were both really good. And I think it's a shame that Ericsson has just fallen off the edge of a cliff, because I'm a huge fan of someone who keeps the ball and
Yes.
doesn't piss about. Like, I mean, Casemiro had the catapult out tonight. I mean, in the first 6 minutes. Like, I'm sure Bart will tell
sorry,
you.
just repeat. He's been playing at centre back today, but yeah. Anyway, let's see what you.
Yeah, but he got a trebuchet out. I don't know the difference between trebuchet and a catapult. Someone will tell me. I suspect Bart. And he was just banging the ball aimlessly around the pitch. And what really annoyed me, right? All right, okay. Let's get to this thing first. Which a lot of people say that this is a fake story or that this is highly exaggerated. But I was talking to Stefan earlier about Wilcox, and there's been a story going on that Wilcox is watching training, which I believe. He's taking notes on what the players are like in training, who are the good guys, who are the bad guys, who's not putting it in, all that kind of stuff. But also, he's been told to tell Ten Hag that we're not going to play positional football anymore. We're going to play possession football. And positional football is basically about men in between the lines and things like that. Possession football is just keeping the bloody ball. Tonight, do you think, could you see a difference in style from the team?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know about this Wilcox story about him asking for possession, but we definitely did have possession again. But it's against the bottom team. So when I was seeing us keep the ball, I was thinking, okay, we're keeping the ball. Then I realised it's Sheffield United. That's possibly why. And at times they had 6 men across the back line, really defending, and it's probably easier to keep the ball because they give us the ball in that sort of area, not giving too much pressure on until we try to break their lines in the back line in a way. So. With Wilcox, Ericsson, and Nicky Butt around the club, I was going to make a joke, but no, I'll leave that one alone. But what do you think, Stefan, about that Wilcox coming in and having a sort of say already? Being able to influence the manager and the style of play this season, not next season when we want to change it all around again.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely err more on your own point of view there, Amanda, that we were always going to have the majority of possession and the majority of the ball, and most of the chances in tonight's match. We're playing Sheffield tonight. We're playing Burnley at the weekend. So we'll probably not find out too much until we play Palace and Arsenal and Brighton. Maybe that'll be better indications of, is this a switch in football, or is it just because we're playing the bottom two in consecutive matches at home? But I think just in general, I think the Wilcox story might be. I think there'll be elements of truth. Like I think, he'll be sitting in, he'll be watching training, he'll be watching Ten Hag, it'll be watching the application, making his own judgments and stuff. But I don't think he's going to be coming up to the manager and saying you need to play this way for the rest of the season. I think that might be an over exaggeration of sorts. To be honest, I think he is too experienced of a football man as well to think that if he just comes and tells Ten Hag to suddenly play a completely different way, that it'll just happen. Like, I don't think that's going to happen either.
Do you not think that fits in a bit with the Ineos style, though, Stefan, of instead of the manager having a head coach and the coach has got, like this is the way we play from the football director and things. We're going to play this style. We're going to recruit for this style. You need to coach this style.
No, I would agree with that as well. I think definitely we want to move towards a club model as opposed to a managerial model, and that obviously has the switch, from manager to head coach. Ten Hag's hypothetical job would be then, to set the team up, train the team, not to go worrying about transfers or contracts or what some of the players are getting up to in their downtime or whatever. He would have a very specific job. So I'm sure that will be a long-term goal, but I just can't see us doing it immediately. I mean, he only signed his contract last week. Like, I can't see it being that quick of a turnaround.
You know what? If they're making changes so fast already, and they want to take the pressure off the manager and get him to focus on the football side alone, I think bath time should be employed to take on the journalists in the press conferences, because that way he will give them a backlash. That Ten Hag probably
Hang on a second,
but hasn't done it so far. Anyway, let's do some comments here before we move on. Andrew Williams talking about Eriksen going back. Notice Erik Ten Hag didn't rotate at all. Cares about himself rather than developing our squad. Bart saying here, any comments on United's newest academy graduate, Wheatley? I saw him come on. I've been watching him in the 18s. He's a big guy in the 18s, but great to get a debut today. Been on the bench a couple of times recently. The big bald fraud, sorry, keeps getting away with it. For F's sake, says Zane. How you doing, Zane? Welcome. And big up to Matthew Bassett as well. How you doing, Matthew Bassett? Kieran saying here, I can run faster than Eriksen and Casemiro put together. We're a team for the aged. Okay. The hack from behind from Carroll against Reading last season, the Carabao Cup, really ruined Eriksen for good. He was doing really well last season, I'm sure. Andrew saying here, Erik Ten Hag should have rested Bruno and Onana. Casemiro was horrific. United had too many players in forward positions first half, got in each other's way. Casemiro again was awful with Haaland as well, even though he scored. Bruno continues to play a free role, which leaves massive gaps in midfield. Him playing that role completely ruins the structure. But I want to say hi to Emma. It might be decisions made together. I wouldn't mind getting some fresh eyes to have a look from the outside if I'm working on something a long ass time. Yeah, you sort of get doing. DK Wilson, where's he from, Stefan, in the States? Where's DK Wilson from today?
Let's go for Wilmington. There we go.
Is that a place in America? I've never heard of it.
I'm pretty confident it is, yeah. I couldn't tell you where, I just heard about it.
Okay, DK Wilson, can you confirm that you're from Wilmington? Like Wilma, Flintstone, Wilmington, yeah. Evening saying here, big ups to everyone. Sadly, I missed most of the game. We looked up for it from what I saw from early on. All right. What about this one here, Stefan? Bruno continues to play a free role, which leaves massive gaps in midfield. Him playing that role completely ruins the structure. Everyone's trying to sort of put their finger on what's gone wrong and why we're so open, why we can keep so many chances, why we can't keep a lead. Is that Bruno? Big G's sussed it here. Do you agree with him? Is it Bruno's fault that he's playing a free role? He should be more disciplined, sort of shoring up all the free space in midfield.
Joe, I feel like we're damned if we do, damned if we don't sometimes with this, because Yeah, you could make the argument that having one of your three midfielders in that kind of free role can limit your structure, especially if you have like Ericsson there, who's not going to be able to cover up the ground. You might have Kobe Manu there as well, who's been asked to do a lot of work in his own right as well. So yes, from that point of view, maybe you could make that argument. But then again, 2 goals and an assist tonight.
Yeah.
That's the flip side of it. The closer you get Bruno to goal, the more goals, more assists you get out of the guy. So it's a conundrum. It's one of those. It's like, do you sacrifice that element of control because you might not get the goals from other players in that attacking lineup? So I don't know. I feel like someone more qualified, probably a manager or something's going to have to make that call instead of me, to be honest. But I like Bruno. Like I've always kind of stood by the guy. Like, so.
Yeah. You make a lot of sense, Stefan. I don't know about being qualified. You do make sense when you say that. And the closer he gets to goal, his record speaks for itself. He does get assists and goals, and he's our sort of main sort of playmaker. And we do need someone. We can't be totally defensive in a way. We do need someone who's going to create and do something. I think over the bad period we've had in the last couple of years, Bruno's always been someone who's been inspiring and trying to get the team playing, and is brave enough to actually try a little something from time to time. No doubt about it. Double A, how you doing? Says, what's up with the ref? Scored a goal, but rather give a penalty as well. All right, let's start from the beginning. I thought it would be an easy win, but it didn't turn out that way, Stefan. So after 35 minutes, we've gone 1-0 down. Bogle, I think he used to play for Derby way back in the day.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah,
fullback.
Yeah. I've always kept my eye on him, but now he's in the Premiership with Sheffield United. Not for long, though. Talk me through this goal, the first goal, because keep in mind, I haven't really seen the game. I was watching it half-heartedly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Batham was in my comments, and we were actually like asking who was at fault. It was kind of the blame game all over again. It was the ball came from it was Ericsson and Casemiro kind of in our own corner. I think it maybe came from a throw-in or something. And Ericsson plays it to Casemiro, and he tries to play a somewhat flat ball across to Onana. Maybe not the best ball from Casemiro. Onana takes a pretty bad touch. And by that time, I think it was Bertrand Diaz was pretty much on top of him. So he had to play it quickly. Dalot was kind of caught in his heels. The ball doesn't make it to Dalot because Bogle has seen it coming. He makes the forward run. He intercepts the ball before it gets to Dalot. He gets in on top of goal and then finishes it accordingly. So it's just another goal from poor build-up play, really. Sloppiness at the back. It's nothing new at this point.
I think the keeper is going to get pelters for this one again. He's under a lot of pressure, and things like this don't help. I saw the replay, and he just passed it to the man. Yeah. I didn't think the pressure was too much, but clearly, he's made a boo-boo there. Bath time.
Yeah. Earlier on the Monday, you were saying that there wasn't a lot of pressure on the ball from Sheffield United, which I sort of agreed with, but I felt that their block strangled us a lot, and that block pushed up but went from low to medium to high in that sequence of events. And Casemiro was pinched in the corner with no sort of easy way out, and he did something
no easy way out.
Rocky, yes.
Yeah.
What he did, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of boxing puns, and it's interrupting my. I've already tried to work.
You're on the ropes. You're on the ropes here, Bath time.
I know. I'm trying to work out what your Ericsson, Nicky Butt, Wilcox joke was, and it's got to be something to do with a heart and a butt and another bit of anatomy. But anyway, when Casemiro plays that ball, that's a danger ball. Everyone on both teams know that it's on. Square ball to the goalkeeper, it's on. Onana takes a poor touch, but what I was talking to Stefan about is I don't know if that's Dalot or that's Onana's fault where that ball goes, because Dalot is flat-footed. That means he's changed his run. Like he's run and then he's stopped and tried to go a different way. And it's probably like I don't know if it's poor coaching. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very rare to see that in the Premier League. Like to see the fullback flat-footed like that. I can't recall many times. And I think it's really important to point out that even Sheffield United score goals from a press, and Manchester United don't. And it's really worrying that a team that everyone says had no pressure on the ball, were awful, gave everything up, they still scored a goal from a press on us. And that I think that is something that Jason Wilcox and Nicky Butt will definitely be talking to Ericsson about in that joke that you've got formulating away.
Okay, all right. I want to big up Harry Maguire. Obviously, he's coming along with the equaliser. Once again, he has to get credit for this. He's the only centre back in the team, in the squad, almost. And he's having to represent again. And this is a guy, remember, who had pelters. They said they want him as captain. They want him out of the club. This is all the fan base, the majority of fan base. Maybe you as well, Stefan. I'm not sure. But no one really liked Maguire a long time ago. But then every time he's had to step up, he doesn't. It just ignores what was said in the past. He doesn't hold a grudge. He goes out there and he tries to do his best that he can. And there was with the big Euros coming up this season, at the end of the season, he needed first team football apparently, and he's finally getting it. And he probably knew that these guys would get injured, or maybe he's taking the guys out in chain training or something, doing something about it. But he stepped up again and scored a goal. You have to give the man credit, Stefan.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's in terms of the mental aspect of the game. I think that Maguire must be one of our strongest players because, yeah, lost the captaincy last summer. The fans wanted him to go. There was the whole will it, won't it transfer with West Ham. That was another one that could have happened at a point. He had been hounded and stuff as well in the press. So, yeah, I mean, the mental fortitude to come back's really good to see. I don't think many players in the squad have that level of toughness within themselves. And yeah, look, he's still got issues as a player. I don't think he's perfect. I don't think anyone would say that, but I think we're glad we have him. Like, what would be the alternative right now if we did get rid of him? Like, it
good point.
Probably be nobody. So I don't know. It could have been Casemiro and McTominay at centre half tonight, which I'm sure would have been an interesting one. So yeah, I'm glad we have Maguire for now. Don't know what's going to happen long term, but I don't know. He could end up staying.
Would you like him to stay, Stefan?
So I can make the case for selling. I think it's got to that point now where it's like, yeah, he's had a really good season. He's probably increased his own transfer value to us. We might want to get quite a few sales in the summer if a good offer comes in. That maybe you do move him on. I think you can make that case, but again, maybe not the end of the world if he does stay.
Okay, so going at half time 1-1. I just want to say that goal, he sort of got there, waited, second phase of play, and he redirected the ball with a little flick like that.
Do you think he was trying to score, Armando?
Of course he was. Or play it in the right area. You got.
Yeah, I think he's trying to flick it on into the area, and we'll probably talk a bit more about Rasmus later, but. It worried me again that there was no one there to stick that ball in.
Very good point.
I think you've got. I mean, I have to say that before we sort of move on to the second half, Maguire really impressed me not really impressed me, but Maguire was by far the best player in the first half because he was the only one I felt that was playing with courage. Like in the whole of the game, right? There was a tactical change in the second half that we'll talk about, but for the majority of the game, United were trying to do two things. They were trying to play around the block, or they were trying to play over the block. So I think everyone, certainly people who watched the eye test, will have seen the amount of channel runs being made by Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Kobe, Bruno, Rasmus, like constantly running in over the top, as it were. And then the ball's going out wide to Anthony Wan-Bissaka, Garnacho. But at no point were we trying to move the block, ever. We weren't trying to play through them. And for me, like Ericsson was playing. Do you know who he's playing like? He's playing like Amrabat did for Fiorentina against West Ham, where he's just shuttling the ball. He's not getting us up the pitch. He's not bringing people. He's not. The block wasn't being moved or manipulated in any way, and it was just awful because Sheffield United's block was perfectly fine, but it wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't something that you would have to get Messi, Iniesta and the lads in to sort of... You didn't need a bunch of professionals to break that wall down. What you needed was a bit of courage on the ball and attack in space. And the only player that ever strode into space was Maguire. I would say he was the only player that wasn't scared to lose the ball, but Casemiro was playing caveman at the back, just thumping it about. But I was so disappointed with the lack of movement in between the lines. People, like, no third man combinations, no one playing on the half turn. And I thought Bruno was all right because he kept the ball a lot, but I think we need to look at like Kobe Mainu and Ericsson and demand a hell of a lot more from them, like on the ball, because they've got to get on it more to break down a block. And I know we're all listless and lethargic about United at the moment, but I don't want the players to be. Like, there was no energy out there really, except from Harry Maguire and that massive head.
Okay, we'll get to half-time 1-1. I do agree. We had to sort of make a change and sort of to break them down because it was disappointing with all the play we had. The manager must have, said something and been the catalyst of change. You want a manager to go in at half-time and make the difference. And he could say in the press conference, we went in at half-time, I told them something to do, and they came out and won 4-2. But what exactly happened in the second half that really changed the game for us? Did Sheffield United just get tired of sitting there in the block and defending all the time? And did they get worn down? Was it our great play that broke them down eventually and scored the goals? Because it's 1-1, but Sheffield United scored another goal in the second half as well. So let's talk about the second half, guys. Stefan, we went 2-1 down. I couldn't believe it after 50 minutes. I know this guy. I've been watching him for a long time at Blackburn. He's from Chile, isn't he? Brett.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
What about him? Because he scores a lot. Isn't he? Doesn't play for Chile?
Do you not know the story about Ben Bertrand Diaz?
Go on. Let's hear it.
He's got a Chilean mother, and he mentioned it in an interview once. And one of the sort of like, there's a social media personality in Chile who has built his entire career on Championship Manager, and he demanded that Bertrand got Chilean nationality, like as his second nationality in Championship Manager. And then they called him up to the Chile squad. He'd never been outside of Europe before.
Does he speak Spanish?
Of course he doesn't. He's from Blackburn.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he was born and raised in Stoke. I'm pretty sure that's part of the story.
Kind of
like
place.
He had lived in Stoke his whole life.
Then he goes to Santiago with Arturo Vidal and the boys.
But fair play to him because he was smashing it in the Championship. He's finally come up and playing a bit of Premiership football. Didn't realise he was playing for Sheffield United, to be honest.
He looked all right as a footballer, to be honest.
So obviously he scored after 5 minutes after the second half, and Ten Hag must be looking up at the stands at his owners and thinking, "Oh God, don't catch eyes with me. This is bad." What happened with the second goal? I missed it.
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to believe me if I tell you it was a cutback to start with. I don't think we've seen this before. It's fun. It's like, obviously, Batham had made the point. Even Sheffield United can get goals from presses, but even Sheffield United can score cutbacks against us as well. Like, it's one of those ones. It's like, I actually didn't get a great view in the on the goal itself because, as you know, maybe watching it through alternative measures, and it kind of like froze. But I mean, it came down our right hand side. It was a cut back into the box. From what I could see, it looked like he was completely unmarked, an unmarked cut back. I mean, I've seen it once. I've seen it 500 times this season.
It was a throw in, isn't it, Stefan? They took they compressed everything on our right. They took a throw in. The ball bounced around off Casemiro and Maguire for a bit. And then they, like Aaron Wan-Bissaka with some truly dreadful defending, got nutmegged. The ball got pulled into an area. Dalot, Casemiro, Maguire, and Onana all sort of fell one way, and the guy kicked the ball the other way. And when you look at it, from my point of view, the area that should have been defended there, it was Eriksen's area, and he's always been weak at this, like filling that space for cutbacks. A really dreadful goal, like a Sunday League goal.
Okay, that's really poor. We're 2-1 down, and I'm just thinking, boy, this is bad. Just go through a few comments here. DK Wilson has responded to Andrew saying, Holland really that bad?
Yes.
With question mark. He says, from what I saw, I thought he might have had a big night. I have to watch a replay now. So he's just asking the question. Mainu struggled a little bit in the last few games since his England debut. That's from Double A. A top striker would have scored 5 goals today, says Andrew Williams, referring to our boy Haaland. We got Andrew again saying after 70 minutes, the collapse was inevitable. I pronounced that really well, didn't I?
Yeah, well done on Monday.
Thank you very much. I saw it coming. I braced myself.
It's because of Thanos, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's how you know how to say that word.
Andrew, stop trying to twist me up knowing I'm reading the comments today with these inevitable long words. And we got Kieran saying it's all right saying Mainu needs to get on the ball more. What can he do with the average players around him? So I repeat,
get on the ball.
Well, he's on. You say it's all right saying get on the ball.
Yeah, get on the ball. It doesn't matter if the players are average or not. I saw McTominay get on the ball a lot in the second half. Yeah. I saw Mainu and Ahmad both not taking enough responsibility with the ball tonight.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think Mainu on the ball is delicious.
He's brilliant.
I saw him take the ball from the right hand side, drive. First of all, the way he took the ball, went to shape like that to pass at something, and just drew away from the defender, cut across the pitch, looking for the opening. In the end, he played a nice pass, but he carried the ball really well. I thought that's
but he's not on it. He's not on it enough. He doesn't demand it enough, and it might be a bit of experience. But like, look, when you're playing this kind of system as a midfielder, there's like you have to be as far away from the ball as possible, and as near as you have to be, right? Like in order to sort of like stretch a block a little bit. The problem with Mainu is that sometimes he doesn't put himself in a position where he's going to get the ball. Like he doesn't sort of drop in, get the ball, and then do his stuff. He waits for it to come to him. It's a bit similar to the way that I don't think Rasmus Højlund has got the killer instinct. I think he can only score tap-ins and things like that. Mainu, it's probably because he's young, but he's got to demand the ball more and get on it the way Bruno Fernandes does.
Can we have a little bump head session here about this one?
Sure.
I disagree a little bit. I think I've noticed Mainu, I think Eriksen in training and on the pitch, the players passing the ball. One, he's older, experienced. He's Eriksen. He must do delicious stuff in training, and the players respect him. And no matter if he's in a tight area or tight spot, they will still passing the ball, knowing that he's Eriksen. He can probably get himself out of trouble, shield the ball, pop it around, and tight control, that sort of thing. I think Mainu's got the same ability, and I think whereas Eriksen, you don't see him demand, feet or whatever. I think Mainu does this thing. I don't know if you can see, but he just says set me. He just quietly says it, you know? He's not screaming it. And
but it's not about screaming. It's about your position.
Yeah. But he's saying it. He's getting himself in position, wanting the ball a lot of the time. It's just, I feel that he's just not getting it. And when he does get it, he does pop it around, play 1-2s and start. And you know with him, we're going to keep the ball in a way.
That's why he's got to get on the ball more.
Yeah, but he plays percentage football where he's not going to play that stupid pass where it's a high percentage it might not go to the man. He plays a solid pass to the guy. If nothing's on, turn back and we start again. All
right. Did he affect the game this evening on Monday?
This is to do with the age, I think. There's a comment here saying that it's the players around him which are poor. I don't agree with that necessarily. I think it's just to do with he's got a responsibility to do his job. That's what I think Kobe Mainu is about. You go out there and do his job. But when it comes to sort of like affecting the game, I don't know if that's the style of player he is. I just think he's the sort of player, he gets the ball, pops it around. He's a team player. Okay, he's not good. Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times. We scored goals. I think he scored 3 or 4 goals this season.
Yeah.
But and there'll be nice goals as well. But give him the right timing. For him, it's about the right time, the right time and space to do it. There was a moment in the first half, I believe, when we're shooting that way, where he got into the box, played
Cruyff turn.
Yeah, Cruyff turn, and then after that, he almost had a shot on goal. He managed to sort of shape his body up, get a left foot shot on goal, and it got blocked. And I was thinking, yes, this is the Mainu that I want to see. It's a midfielder who's going to get opportunities in the box when the time.
That's not the
right.
Mainu I want to see. I want to see Mainu on the ball.
Yeah, but I'm saying
lot.
when the time's right, he will do it. He's a percentage guy in his head. He's not going to try to say, right, when we're playing football outside their block, he's not going to be saying, right, let me try a little something here. And, think he's going to do it when it's right, when I can link up properly and when it really happens. And he wants to bring players in as well. So I don't know. We've still got a lot to see with this guy. And I think what you're saying is a character thing, a personality thing. You want to see more desire to sort of try and dictate the game.
It's not so much desire. It's that he is the best ball player on our team, I think. Like in terms of receiving the ball, manipulating it, being able to resist pressure, but most importantly, he's able to draw a man to him and then beat them with a touch or like that little sort of little flicky thing he does with his the outside of his foot a lot. And the issue that I have with Mainu at the moment is, I think Double A might have said since the England game, he's had a little bit of a dip and things. Mainu hasn't played badly at all. But he's not getting involved in the game as much as we want him to be involved in the game. And I think he's really got to start sort of getting in positions where he demands the ball. So it's not about shouting for the ball. It's that the position he takes up, you've got to give him the ball. It's kind of like the difference between when McTominay makes a run in the box and Rasmus makes a run in the box. Yeah. One of them demands the ball, and the other one, I don't know what he's doing a lot of the time. They're poor runs, and so with Kobe, he's got to be used better by the team and by the manager. But the one thing that he can do himself is drop in and create angles more. I think he's too much of a teacher's pet at the moment, and I really like him. But I want to see. I want to see him because he's cool, he's calm, he's collected. I really want to see him start to sort of like demand the ball with his positions in the same way that Bruno does, because he's more talented than Bruno. He might not be as effective at the moment as Bruno, but in terms of skill and things, he's more talented, and he's got to get that drive to get himself on the right angle on that diagonal to get the ball, and then we'll be a better team for it.
Stefan, is that a fair assessment to demand a little bit more from Mainu, especially in games like today?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's two schools of thoughts from a lot of people who've been watching United this season. And a lot of people go back to the first match he played against Everton as maybe his best performance, because he was demanding the ball in deeper areas in that game, and he was opening up to those angles. And some people go back to that and say that's the gold standard Kobbie Mainoo performance that we've got. Now, of course, you get people out there going, oh, but he scored goals against Wolves or he scored against Liverpool. But in terms of a complete performance, that might be his best. I think tonight, he maybe played a little bit safe at times. I wouldn't mind him really going for it a little bit more, because we know he's good enough to do it. We know he's got the skill to do it. We know he's got the acumen and the mentality to do it. So I think it's just about dragging it out of him as well. I've no doubt it'll come with some more maturity and some more experience. I know there was a comment about him maybe having a small drop up after England as well. Could be a little bit tired as well. He's only 19. He's played practically every match from November, like at this point. So I think maybe just a little bit tired. Maybe could do with the end of the season coming up. Not sure what's happening with the European Championship squad either. But yeah, I think it's just one where we know we can do it. It's just how do we get it out of him on a consistent basis as well. That's just what I think at the minute.
Do you think the team's not set up for him, Stefan?
I think in some ways, I think he would be better with someone more physical alongside him as well. Someone who's going to eat up a lot of ground and make a lot of tackles as well. I think that's how you get the best out of him, because I don't think he's quite a 6. I don't think you get the absolute best out of him there. I don't think you get the best out of him in some of the matches where he's been playing on the line almost as well. So I think it's about getting the optimal position out of him. It's not that he's playing bad in those matches as well. It's just
about maximizing him.
Yeah, it's about maximizing him. I don't want to sound like.
What player do you think that you would look at and say that's kind of where you want Kobbie Mainoo to be playing, a similar position?
It's a good question. I think, like, whenever I've been talking about him before, one player I always seem to come back to in a lot of ways is Moussa Dembele. He was at Tottenham for many years. I think there's some similarities in the game there. I think Kobbie's maybe more get on the ball and do stuff with it, but Dembele, in terms of ability to carry with it, the control in those tight spaces. I know maybe he's not explosively athletic, but I think that's a decent enough comparison. I don't think he's a full 6. I don't think he's a number 10. I think he's just his own type of player in many ways as well. So it's just how are we going to get the best out of him? That's what I want to see in the years and stuff to come. So I think we've got a big job in the summer. I think we will get another number 6. I think Mainoo will get pushed a little bit higher up. Maybe that will allow him to really start to flourish as well. But I don't know.
It's all about expression, isn't it, on the pitch and thing. I do like him. I think he's very placid as a player. And there's a few comments about him as well, because we are going in on him a lot now. Just want to say hi to Tyrone Williams. How you doing? Your mate or your brother Andrew Williams is saying Mainoo was your man of the match. Andrew again saying he plays with Bruno. Bruno does not allow people to have the ball, so that's the reason why he doesn't have the ball that much. Tyrone saying here, Kobbie Mainoo looks like a Man United player at 19. So impressive. We look better without Rashford as well tonight. He's saying, is Rashford injured?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Kieran's saying here, so you're calling Mainoo out. I don't see you calling out anyone else. Sorry, but you're talking out your A. You know, that's going.
Cheers, Kieran.
Yeah. Okay. Kieran, if you listen to the conversation, we're not calling out. We just demand a little bit better. How do we maximize his potential and get more out of him? You know, I know it's what we want to see. We love him, really. So Big G saying here to Andy, been saying it all season, Bruno playing a free role causes more problems. Tyrone saying here, Bruno playing a deeper role with more discipline would work wonders for this team. He's been listening to Bath Time, on the same page as Bath Time. Double A saying here, Garnacho, a ball hog too. He was getting in the way of Haaland a few times, was going for the glory too much. See, hold on a minute. So we're criticising Mainoo for not trying things. Garnacho tries things and we criticise him.
I haven't started criticising Garnacho yet. But Højlund was, like Rasmus Højlund, I think, was Sheffield United's best defender tonight. Like the way Garnacho is annoying me a lot at the moment. And I think, like a lot of people tonight, I was very curious about this guy that we brought on Wheatley or whatever, who's got the most incredible physical build I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's smashing the 18s, bullying everyone.
Yeah, I tell you what, his pressing work is. I know it's like the last 10 minutes of a difficult Premier League match. His pressing work is so far ahead of Højlund, it's untrue. But I really wanted that guy to score a goal, and Bruno and Garnacho were annoying me by not getting the ball through to him. But I think that Garnacho had a much better second half than he did first half, because there was a slight tactical change where in the first half Dalot was playing outside, so Garnacho would have the ball and you'd see Dalot overlapping him, and that would give Garnacho a bit of space to go into. Second half, Garnacho's starting position was a lot wider and a lot deeper, and it gave him sort of more space to commit and manipulate the men in front of him. And then he always had that pass back into Dalot or to Bruno. And I felt that that's what really turned us around in the second half. But in the first half, I don't know about you, Stefan, but he was driving me mad, Garnacho, because it was like on FIFA or something where a certain player has to score a goal. Like there was no
It was
passing
like
or
tunnel
anything.
vision. Yeah, it was just complete tunnel vision. It was just Garnacho gets it, got to get inside, got to shoot, and then he got a lot of opportunities. He should have scored at least one. Probably should have had two by half time. You know, you look at the one with a nice bit of interplay and around the edge of the box, and he managed to just kind of come onto it. Keeper made a good save there, but then keeper made like a one-handed save as well. Really had to score there. But yeah, I mean, on another day, he could have had 2 or 3 goals, and we'll probably talk about it as, yeah, what a great performance or whatever. But it was frustrating. There is no doubt about it. He can be kind of self-centered in his play sometimes in the final third, but I feel like you need to be as well. If you're going to be a top forward player, you have to kind of have that in you as well. But yeah, not his best tonight in the first half anyway. Second half, I thought he was better.
Very Rashford-like performance in the first half, I felt.
You could say that.
All right. Was it a penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
no argument there. We don't need to discuss that. All right, and Bruno put the penalty away. He's a master at penalties, isn't he? Steps up and sends the keeper usually the wrong way, rolls into the net. So cool, so calm. I love it. And obviously that made it 2-2 the penalty. And then he scored a goal in 81 minutes to make it 3-2. And it was a beauty. I must admit, this is what we were saying. I know, Stefan, you were saying earlier about, the free roll, and you got to give him license to do something in the final third because he does things like that. What a goal!
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the payoff you like to get from giving him that role. You sacrifice a little to get him there, so when you get him there, you want to get something out of it, and it was really really good goal. He just got that little bit of space. He kind of just let it run across him a little bit, and he took it on his left foot as well, his weaker foot. But yeah, it was a good hit. There was a little bit of suspicion it maybe took a small deflection or something, but I'll give it to him. Like, I'm not going to take that goal off him. It's a disgrace if they do. Has to be Bruno's goal. But really good hit, and I actually think that's kind of gone out of his game a little bit, because when he first came, he was hitting those shots from outside the box on a fairly regular basis, and he is good at it, but he seems to have dropped that out of his overall game over the last season or two, really. So wouldn't mind him. It's not a bad option to take sometimes, just when it opens up. Sometimes
did one against Coventry, didn't he? Did he hit the bar against Coventry with one?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like, I'm all right. I mean, Andrew's here like 2 or 3 shots, law of averages. I'm all right with that. Like taking shots from good positions, and I thought it was a world-class strike. Like, I thought the whole goal was just a really nice pattern of play. It was, I think, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and McTominay pissing about, knocking the ball to each other, like trying to draw their men in. It was one of the only decent things that Aaron Wan-Bissaka did all game. And then a quick little pass to Delo, who just flipped it in the inside. Bruno Stefan let the ball run across, then makes great contact in the corner. And it's what Bruno can give a team. And as much as I know Big G and Andrew will be really frustrated with Bruno, and to be honest, even like the biggest fans of Bruno understand how annoying he is. But goals and assists are what win you football matches, and that's what Bruno can sort of give the team. I think that rather than directing your anger at Bruno, first of all, you should look at that midfield setup, because I know Andrew's given Mainu man of the match, and I'm fairly sure he would have given Mainu man of the match because Mainu was in position most of the time. Like, he did what he was told. He tried to get back at the right times and stuff like that. But if you can get Bruno in a team that's set up decently, like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team, he gets 25 goals a season and 20 assists. He's an absolutely ridiculous player. He just needs to be managed and trained a little bit. Like, he's still a bit too feral. And I'd love that. I wish he'd slip the ball in for that Wheatley lad. That would have been really exciting if a young player had scored a goal.
Okay, so a couple of comments here. Say no to Bruno playing free role. Hashtag, that's from Big G. And Tyrone loves that. He's having a good old belly laugh about that, so he must agree. For F's sake, we're playing Sheffield United. on Monday. It says Big G talking about Bruno goals, getting excited about that. He has 2 or 3 shots every game, law of averages. Which you're supposed to, I imagine, in that sort of position. Dang, the second half tactics change with Garnacho and Dillo sounds like a strategic change. No way Ten Hag would ever do that. Just a DK.
He did it against Villa as well. He dropped Rashford into the similar position when we came back to win that game. It's one of his only tactical switches that he makes.
We want to say hi to Simon Warner. He was in the pub and they were showing the Merseyside derby. I don't know what the result was there. I don't even know.
Everton 2-0.
You're joking me.
No, I'm not joking you.
Can I start? Not to talk about Liverpool. Is this the drop off? Is that because Klopp's leaving? The players are just like, well, I'm done with all this hard work. Just quickly, I don't want to focus.
It's all gone wrong since we put them out of the FA Cup.
Okay,
Yes,
to be honest,
Yeah.
like it has. It's been downhill since then.
I'm not complaining. It's good to see you.
No.
Actually. So Simon Warner saying next match is against Burnley at home on Saturday. Let's condemn them to the Championship. Sheffield United are non-Premier League material. And Big G saying here, Mainu just needs to play the Scholes role. Which one, the young one or the old one? I'm not sure, but yeah, Scholes is fantastic. All right, let's move on to the final goal. And from somebody who hasn't scored for a minute, that's us, Rasmus Højlund. Someone as well. Just maybe a bit of pressure. He's coming this season as a striker and someone who wasn't really prolific in the first place, but we expected to see more from his game. We will be doing a review of the season, the end of the season, but just now, just give me a little sort of trailer about what's going to come when you talk about Rasmus. Has he fulfilled his potential? Is there still a lot more to come? What more do you expect from this guy? Because you guys have been kind of dissing him or expecting better from him in the comments and on the panel as well. And do we, because we're talking about buying a striker. We just bought a striker, but we're saying buy a striker to cover this guy because we don't think he's good enough. I mean, he scored a goal at the end. Is it just confidence? Did we buy him because he's got good character and a high ceiling? Do you see the sense in the signing now that we've had time to judge? Give me a little summary before we do the real go in at the end of the season when we do a proper review. Start with you, Stefan, on Rasmus and talk about the goal as well. How you put that away?
Yeah, pretty standard goal, really. It was, I think it was Bruno made the running behind, puts it across the box. It's just a tap in there for Højlund. He's got to feel like that this season, and I've tried to really stick up for the guy because I do think he gets a chronic lack of service. Like I really do. I think all in all, he's had something like 30 to 35 shots in the league this season, which is nowhere near enough for a striker. If you think if it takes 1 or 2 shots to hit the target, 2 shots in target to hit a goal, whatever the conversion rate is, he's not having enough shots in the first place. I think there's been elements of his game that look good. He went in that scoring run. I think he got 8 or 9 goals from about Boxing Day until he got injured. He looked like the player we wanted him to be then. I think there's a very high ceiling. I think physically he's a strong player. He's a tall player. He's a quick player. I think he's exceptionally raw, though. I do think he's a very raw player. And I don't think the price tags helped him too much. I just think there's a lot more to come from him. I think he needs to make that step up. Hopefully next season. Maybe he can do that. But I don't know. I think if he was on a team that had more service, would we be having the same conversations about him? And then how much of the lack of service is him making poor runs? How much of it is him standing in areas where he's covered by markers, covered by defenders? Because there's times where he does seem to go kind of quite far left or quite far right as well. He's not really in the box where if he was there and nobody's putting it into him, you would say, right, well, he's standing there completely unmarked, hands in his pockets, waiting for a ball. But he does seem to drop into some areas that maybe you don't want your centre forward to pick up. But I don't know. I think there's more to come. I think there is a player in there, but it's just going to take a while to see if we ever get it out of him. I think that's maybe more questionable after, I don't know, 7 or 8 months of him being here.
Okay. Bart, I'm over to you. I mean, just highlight where he needs to improve and whether he's got the character, because it's all about character these days when you're making signings like this. Is that what got him to the club? His character. Do you think he's got enough character to turn this around? Because he's had some ups and downs this season.
It's difficult to speak about his character. I don't like the fact that he almost bursts into tears every time he scores a goal. Kobe scored last minute winner against Wolves, and just Ahmad scored the last minute winner against Liverpool and just legged it into the changing room. Didn't bother with the celebration. Just went straight off. And Quinlan just starts crying. I've got a lot of worries about Højlund, to be honest. Number one is that I've seen no improvement in him like this season. I've seen no aspect of his game improve. And some of the things that really concern me is when you look at players like Timo Werner and Darwin Núñez, they create a lot of chances for themselves and they miss a lot and they're not great in front of goal. Højlund is constantly looking for the easiest goal in football, which is 4 yards out and stuff like that. His hold-up play is abysmal. His understanding of space in the box is appalling because he's constantly in the way of other players. Like everyone always says that players are getting in his way and things like that. But it's him. I've seen him tackle Rashford, like when Rashford nearly scored. Tonight, he nearly tackled Garnacho for what would have been a beautiful goal. He's got the physicality. He's got the pace. He's got the size. And he's got the body frame to be an excellent player. But even tonight, he got slipped through by Eriksen. And the touch he took was poor. It went out too far wide, and then he didn't make a good enough contact with the ball to sort of do the keeper. And Stefan says, does he get enough chances? Do we have a fair kind of data set to work with to say if he's good or not? But one of the big issues with him is the ball doesn't stick. And this is Keno was talking the other week about Haaland being League 2 outside of the box. I mean, Rasmus is pretty similar, to be honest, and yet, but he also doesn't have that kind of ferocity that Haaland has in the box. Like, can you think of any goal where Højlund has been using complete physicality to get on the end of something? Or have they been tap-ins and sort of like just shots with little pressure on him? I don't see enough variety in the goals that he's had, and I don't see enough determination in the runs that he makes. I don't see him understanding how to attack and to cultivate space. And I think that his hold-up play isn't good enough for the Premier League. So I'm really worried about Højlund. Really worried.
Okay. I haven't seen him header much either. I haven't seen him sort of boom, good header goal in the back of the net. These are attributes you have to have as a striker. I did a video today, one of these random blind videos on TikTok where they throw up players and you have to put them in order. And I was describing how good they were, Ian Wright, Ian Rush, all these players are coming up, Emil Heskey, and they've all got good attributes. And I just, like you said, I was just listening to you there, Bath Time, and I think he does need to improve. Definitely the hold-up play. Definitely the variety of finishing. That's a great point you've made. Because I'm thinking about it. You're damn right. He is trying to sort of get in front of defenders. Maybe in the previous league, in the Italian league, he had a bit more physicality. I don't know if it's true. But he doesn't seem to be able to fulfill his, strength and power over these guys and bully these defenders. I
think
thought he was coming to be rapid
problem.
and strong. And a bit like Alan Boxic, who was also... But he was like Alan Boxic could...
Lazio,
right.
Isn't it?
The highlights I saw of him at Atalanta, I thought, okay, that's what I was kind of expecting in a way. Someone who pick up the ball, touch, and knock it past you, drive forward, and he's so strong you can't even, you'll be grabbing onto his shirt, trying to get a hold of him. But yeah, I just think...
This is the problem that I had with Pogba on day, was I think that in Italy, he was able to, because Pogba was, for all the things people say about him, Pogba is the perfect physical specimen of central midfielder. Yeah. He had literally everything to become a great.
Sure.
But when he moved to the Premier League, he wasn't able to use that frame as effectively as he could in Italy to sort of bully slightly weaker players. And I think that when Højlund turned up, we played Arsenal in it for his debut. And I think he spent the entire match wrestling Saliba or Gabriel or something like that. And everyone was really, really impressed because he matched them physically. That's the only time we've seen him like really give a centre-back in the Premier League any problems with his physicality. The rest of the time, it's honestly been like taking like candy from a 6-year-old.
Yeah. All right, so he scored a goal, and I think that should give him confidence. He's a starter at the moment, isn't he? And we've got big games coming up, obviously against Brighton and Arsenal as well. Once we get through relegation Burnley.
I want to see that new boy tonight. I'm really intrigued by him, and
you should watch him. Bath. I watched it under 18s, and he's smashing it. But obviously, you know, when you get big guys who can dominate, set up. Yeah, so I'm one thing, like you said, you know straight away is physicality and his closing down and pressing is better than Højlund. So yeah, maybe we don't need to sign anyone if Wheatley can.
He also made a really aggressive near post run when I think Casemiro might have hit a ball across to Garnacho. He overhit it or something. Like someone basically played the ball, but Wheatley made a run that demanded at least 2 centre backs went with him. And it's something that I haven't seen from Rasmus Højlund. And also, he's got the strangest body shape I've seen for a long time. His torso is so long. Like, I'm really intrigued what kind of player he is. Like, I hope he's fantastic because I've never seen a player with that build before. Extraordinary.
In the Danish league, the strikers have to say "excuse me" before moving to proper funny. I like that one. That's class. And Agile Beast is saying here, playing with Rashford when you're the central striker will stunt anybody's centre forward play. So not happy with Rashford. Montreal MUFC, how are you doing? He says, I really wonder how they teach players in Italy these days. Strikers and defenders from a different time in Serie A used to be total animals. And Stephanie is just in the house. I big up Stephanie. I want to sort of say thanks for all the support forever since you've been around the agenda. I really do appreciate you. She's saying Ethan Wheatley is fire. Have you seen much of him, Stefan, in the under 18? You watch much of under 18 football?
Yeah, I think he scored. They scored 2 goals. Was that yesterday? They played City, or in the Premier League? I'm near positive he's. I'm near positive he scored 2 goals yesterday. I'm actually going to have to Google that a second. But yeah, I've been seeing him
today. If he scored, if he wouldn't be allowed to play today if he played yesterday.
No,
he did. He played the first
he
half.
Played
he
yesterday.
2 in 25 minutes. Yeah.
And we've put him in for a game today.
What
a joke. Oh my God.
Half time. These youngsters, if you say
you've got to look after them on Monday.
I'm sure you've played 2-3 games in a day. I'm sure you have.
Well, yes, but I'm not a Man United Academy player. You can't play. You can't be. If that is true, that is appalling that he hasn't had a recovery session today. He's got to play the Premier League match.
Now he's going to add that to his list of reasons why we get injured players. You know, I didn't say nothing wrong with that. Do you, Stefan? Do you think anything wrong with that? Playing under 18s and getting a call up usually happens, doesn't it?
He played 45 yesterday.
Okay,
and he played 9 minutes today. I mean, it's maybe not ideal.
Really cool.
It's maybe not ideal, but that's happened a few times this season. There's been guys who've gone from the under 16s pitch, just walked across Carrington and come on as subs for the 18s and stuff. That's
what
happened
a joke.
This season.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
That's an absolute joke. Oh my God.
I want to say big up to Raja. Everyone say hi to Raja. And as you can see by the symbol after his name, he's a member of Man United Agenda. You can become a member as well. Guys, don't forget, just go to YouTube and go into the options and join us as a member. I appreciate that. He's saying the one thing's for certain, Man United Youth Foundation is looking nice. Nice indeed. Big up. And don't have a heart attack by half time. Ten Hag is desperate. Says Tyrone having a good giggle here. And bath time goes soft and woke. Says Big
shut
G.
Up, Big G, you massive snowflake.
DK wants to say, Darius, tell that nonsense to a 60-year-old pro tennis player as well. And Wheatley looks like Hannibal, says Raja as well. sorry, here is another one for Agile. He's been in half under 18s and other games in under 21s as well. Been scoring in both. I agree. I thought we should have brought him in earlier when we played Forson against Fulham. So it's good to see. Who's the other guy who I've completely forgot against?
Shea Lacey?
No.
Amas?
Older striker who played in pre-season.
Charlie Hugel?
Yeah, Hugel.
Hugel, yeah.
Where's he gone? Is he still at the
He's
club?
at Burton.
He's at Burton. How's he getting along?
Yeah, he's on loan.
Is he
I don't know.
goals? Yeah,
he scored in his first match, I think, but I don't know how many since then.
Right.
I know the other striker, Charlie McNeil, came back to the club. He was at Stevenage, but I don't know where he's
not looking good, is it?
Ended up no.
No, just give them time, Monday. Like I never get involved in the youth and their loans and what's going on in the under 18s. Like, let them be kids. Let them learn football. When they're ready, they can come up and play. But what they shouldn't be doing is playing a match yesterday and they're coming on to play a Premier League game. That's outrageous.
Guys, tune in tomorrow because Bath Time will be bringing it up again for sure about this. Now that we revealed it, that he played yesterday, which is probably not cool. All right. So what happened to Charlie McNeil? That's from Tyrone Williams as well. All these players we have so much hope for. But not everyone can make it into the first team in senior football at Man United, unfortunately. Some have to say bye-bye to. And it's really, I think it's a harsh game, is it? Football. You get all the boosts, you're the next superstar, and then suddenly they say to you, no, you're not going to make it here at this club, and you have to move on and keep your emotional well-being healthy as well, and take it like a man and move on and try to progress in profession.
Got to be like PK or someone like that, or Rossi. I think went on to have a very good career. The American Italian. You've got a kind of like, you're going to get setbacks in life, and you've got to put the work in and keep going. And the great thing about the United Academy is that it's about personal development as well as football development. And a lot of these players, I think, do really well because of the hard work of going back to Nicky Butt, and there was a guy called Ted something who was there in the past, and now there's Nicky Cox who's just a really lovely man by all accounts. So, like, it's not the worst place to be in the world, I think, a Man United Academy player, unless that idiot manager makes you play a match the next 2 days consecutively without a recovery day.
Guys,
Absolutely
in the comments, make sure you give Bath Time hell. And if he does bring it up tomorrow, guys, when you're watching, make sure we're going to do a forfeit for him. No doubt about it, because I know it will be coming. Simon Warner, big up Simon. He's been joining us halfway through. He says Dora could have put her chickens out tonight to play Sheffield United subs. Have you been here listening to that about Dora's chickens, Stefan? Did you see that show?
No, I haven't seen Dora's chickens. I've seen the parrots, but I haven't seen the chickens.
Dora lives on a farm which is run by her chickens. The more we get to know Dora, the more crazy she is. Basically, she once lived somewhere called Snake Island for a year. Unreal stuff.
Dora the Explorer says Big G. Question, Bath Time. Are you sure you can do 2 shows in 24 hours, bro?
Is that a roast, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a roast. You got to take that one. That's a good one.
If I get my recovery time in, Big G, yeah.
It's good one, isn't it, Bath Time? Go on.
Yeah.
I like
it's fine, but it's like you can't have players. You need recovery time, or you get all these injuries.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Tyrone's having a good old laugh tonight. Adventures of Snake Island, Dora Explorer.
I promise you, this is true.
Guys.
Dora living on Snake Island isn't a lie. She lived on an island that had more snakes than people with no running water. Dora's absolutely insane.
Isn't it St. George's Day today?
It was yesterday.
Oh, it's yesterday. He's got something to do with snakes as well, living in I don't know. I'd have to go and look it up again. Dora is the female version of Indiana Jones. And sorry, Bath Time, I couldn't resist, pal.
That's all right, Big G.
Yeah.
It won't be a show without, for some reason, you calling me woke.
Dora and hiss. Stefan, I mean, we would like to sort of delve into your life. We only see your bedroom and those
I know.
retro shirts. Anything you want to tell us about your environment? Like Dora, she tells about her chickens, pets, and Snake
Yeah, what's
Island.
the best holiday you've had, Stefan?
Best holiday? Oh, went traveling in America last year for 3 weeks. That was pretty good. Like we did East Coast, so not as exciting as like Snake Island and like fighting off snakes and no running water and hunting for food and living by the fire and stuff. It wasn't that exciting. Like we just got buses up and down the coast. Like,
Did you go to Wilmington?
no, I actually didn't. I didn't, but I think that must have been where I pulled Wilmington out of my head because I googled it because there's two of them. There's one in Delaware and one in North Carolina. So I don't know what one DK Wilson's from, but maybe both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
So
He's
when
got
we stop at motels in America. They call it motels, don't they?
No, it was mostly hotels, and yeah, there was like one motel or something. Yeah, but yeah, it was all right. Like,
Would you recommend America? Because I've got a friend who's booked San Francisco for her and her family, but then she's thought about it and I thought, oh my god, why did I go there? I should have gone to Thailand.
it is expensive. Like it's an expensive old trip. Like, so I mean, it all depends. I would love to do Thailand as well. I think that might be the next one, but haven't booked anything yet. So we shall wait and see.
Okay.
When I was about
Sorry, go on.
When I was about 18 or 19,
Yeah.
when I was 17, I was working in this concrete factory, and the plan was that we were going to save money like all summer, and then towards the back end of the summer, we were going to go to America and buy a car and drive it from New York to Los Angeles.
Highway 44?
Route 66.
Route 66,
yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and we went to Benidorm instead, which is equally as fun. But I've always dreamt of doing a road trip across America. It must be amazing. Like,
what's inspired you to do that? A movie or someone?
My brother was living in Corby. I lived in a really boring place and nothing happened. And if you'd see Baywatch on the telly and you'd think that's what life could be like.
Stefan's skinny teeth. Is that what happened to you, Stefan?
No, honestly, man, there's nothing where I live. We don't even have a shop. Like there isn't a shop. There's nothing happens.
Do you have a pub?
No pub.
Post box?
There is a post box. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So
it's a 15-minute drive to the nearest pub.
Wow, country boy. Tyrone, I know this for a fact. He went to Thailand recently. He said, check out Bangkok, Phuket, Chiang Mai, and Koh Samui. I've been to Thailand as well. It's fantastic. What an adventure.
What the thing that puts me off places like Thailand and stuff are other tourists. Like,
yeah, one thing that put me off about Thailand was European tourists going there, males over 50 going there for brides. Yeah. You can see them. It's just horrible. It just puts me off. And I suppose that's part of the. You can make money from it, can't you? So a lot of people are, but you're just faking it. I mean, you're surely not in love with these guys, the women out there. But I think the street food's really nice. It says here, Rajat said, love to eat some Thai food for sure. And Big G saying here, Thai, I say nothing. Plenty of banter could be had right now. Yeah, let's not talk about. We're not going to go there about the seedy part of Tyrone's adventures in Thailand. Tyrone looked like he had a great time, and Tyrone, maybe you come on the show one day and tell us more.
Yeah, do travel shows in the summer.
Sorry, I just want to ask Stefan if he's got any other holidays planned. You've done the States. What's next?
I think we got a couple of days in Porto coming up.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So that'll be an interesting one. I think I've been to Portugal once. I was like 5, but it'd just be me and my girlfriend going. But yeah, I mean, we got Ryanair flights for £30 each, so we just thought, why not?
Result.
Why
Porto's
not?
amazing.
Mm.
It's really, really nice. Like by the, lots of water around it. Like it's actually like it's. I saw someone the other day compared it to San Francisco of Europe. Like they think it's sort of like has a similar vibe to it.
It's windy as well.
Is it? Have you been to Porto?
No, my colleague, she's Venezuelan and mixed with Italian. She goes there quite regularly. She's come back from there and she's coming back black. She's like Latin. She came back black because the wind in Porto was like, lashing her face, and the wind gives you a tan a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Does it?
Yeah, the wind. A lot of the time you can, it's definitely
Yeah, windswept or like wind beaten or something they call it.
Yeah, but I think you have to be out on a fishing boat for sort of 20 years for that to happen. Like, I'm not sure you get it over a weekend. You come back looking like Ernest Hemingway.
Can we talk? The comments of the guys are talking holidays. The islands are much better. Thai people than Europeans. Pattaya is too seedy. Simon saying here, tried Thai's food once, never again. Simon Warner. A road trip to America would be a dream for me. Need to do it. That's his bucket list from Tyrone.
Yeah, let's go, Tyrone. We'll
Shall
buy
we
a
all
car.
do it together? Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to Portugal one time. Lit country, chill, says Rajat as well. And I miss Ryanair flights, says Agile Beast. Do you have to put them early, like months and months and years in advance to get them that cheap? I'm not sure. Went to Madrid as well to check out the Madrid game, said Rajat. Rajat's done the tour. So you guys, if you are going away this summer, do a little a vlog for us and give us a little update of your adventures, because we need to fill the gaps when the Premiership's not playing. So if you are going on holiday during the summer months, make sure you film it and send in the video, and we'll post it up for you guys. Yeah. Well, half time, you're going to say.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure me and Sarah going around Greece would be that interesting to unless we ran into sort of Harry Maguire back for revenge. That would be pretty good. Yeah, like I'm genuinely quite interested where people are sort of going on their holidays and things, like, because I mean, do you boys tend to go to the same place, or do you, like, each year do you think, right, this year I want to do, I don't know, Tallinn? I'll
just say this, like, I for me to get away, I never want to go to like skiing or somewhere cold in Northern Europe. I don't. That to me is not a holiday. Holiday for me, because I brought up in the UK. My skin, I'm getting really pale in the winter, and I feel really, miserable. There's not much sunlight. So
you need to get windswept.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my boots? Yeah, so I want to go somewhere hot, and I found my spot. So I could go to Sri Lanka all the time, and I'd get what I need there. Get good food right by the sea. It's cheap. The people are really nice as well. And when I go there, I feel like refreshed and revitalized. So my friend lives out there, my flatmate, I lived with him for about 10, 15 years, maybe even more. I've known him for years. My good friend Kevin, DJ Kevin Fernando. He lives out there full time now. So I've got a accommodation for free. But I've been there maybe 5 times to Sri Lanka, and it's beautiful. I come back.
How long's the flight? It's quite a long way away, isn't it?
14 hours or so. I stop off sometimes at the Maldives, which is beautiful. But yeah, but that's one place I can go back and not be bored. I don't need to see the whole rest of the world. I just I'm ticking my boxes, getting the sunshine, getting healthy, eating fresh food, getting good people around me, and it's cheap as well. And that's what I love. That's all I need. So, what about you guys? Before we wrap up the show,
go on, Stefan.
I like to just go about. We've done a good few countries at this point, like different cities and stuff. I think like me and my girlfriend are mostly like Mediterranean kind of countries. Like we've done Italy, we've done Spain, we're going to do Portugal next month. I know it's not technically Mediterranean, but it's kind of close enough. France as well. So yeah, I mean, we've got lots of different cities we want to do within all those countries as well. We've done Venice. We were to do Milan at some point, but getting priced out of it. Yeah. And then we'll do some other stuff. But yeah, I mean, we haven't really found somewhere that we're, like Sri Lanka, that we want to just like go to every time. But yeah, I think we're very happy just exploring and just like going about as many different places. It's a bit like the John Murda World Tour. Like,
wish you were here, Judith Chalmers.
if only we could expense it.
Niagara Falls is amazing, says Big G. I'm just going to go back to Simon. He said something about Australia. Came close to going to Australia several years ago, but the airport went on strike that day that I was due to fly out. Oh, wow. Wow. Greece is amazing. Take a few United players with you. They could do a dip in the river. There's some Thai as well.
River Styx. Do you understand what that means?
No, I don't. Do you want to tell me? I'm laughing.
Do you know Achilles?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
You know what the Achilles heel is?
Yes. Is this when there's a big statue that used to stand at the?
No.
Right. All right. Okay.
No. So the story of Achilles is that Achilles was invincible because he was dipped in the river Styx, right? So nothing could hurt him. But his mum held him by the ankle, like by the heel. So that's why the heel was the only place that he could be killed. So when you dip someone in the river Styx, you're making them like indestructible, as it were. So Tyrone is agreeing with me that to play a youth player yesterday and then play them today without sticking them in the river Styx is ridiculous.
Good. I get it now. I went way over my head. But so that's the story about the Achilles heel then.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Thank you. I've learned something every day on this show. Well done.
It's a bit similar to that one about Loki. Like, who did Loki kill with the mistletoe? Do you know that story?
No. Loki's
Loki, the trickster god of Norse mythology. Right. There was someone's mum in Norse mythology got every plant and every creature and every animal to swear that they would not harm her son. And the only thing she didn't say was mistletoe. And Loki, Loki made an arrow out of mistletoe and killed the sun in front of everyone. And that is essentially how Ragnarok.
What's the moral of the story?
There's no moral of the story. It's Norse mythology.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the plot of the first God of War.
It is,
game.
yeah.
I'm near positive. So it could be Baldur he killed, wouldn't it?
It might have been Baldur, actually, which is good because Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. There we go.
Everything connect the dots with this show.
Yeah, that's Norse mythology going in cycles.
Okay. I'm looking to get a new Martin Odegaard from Tanton from Norway. I've seen the guy, left-footed guy we've been looking at. I had a look at him today. Any more comments about? Here we go. Tyron's going. Read Iliad if you haven't. One of the greatest Greek story ever written. Thank you. Greek mythology. Is this right? I'll check this out. Thanks, Tyrone. Thanks to Bath Time. This is good stuff. Greek's food. Get some amazing Greek food. Their kebabs. Oh, damn, says Raja. And any more? It's amazing what you can learn on this stream. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Big up Simon. Big up Tyron. Big up Raja. Big up Lucky Singh is in the house as well. How you doing? All right. Simon, Stefan, where can we find you, bro? I want you.
Yeah.
Forget that. Just plug your channel, man.
Just a plug. Yep. Shameless plug. It's right here. It's United Philosophy. I'm on YouTube, or you can find me on Twitter at United Stefan. Need to get tweeting somewhere as well, to be fair. Haven't really kept up with the Twitter too much. But yeah, live most nights of the week and working on some interesting videos as well. Got them all written down. Need to get recording and editing. So make sure to pop on over for that if you want. And there's always plenty of Norse mythology and Greek myth and stuff as well. If you guys are up for that, there I'll be well and truly up for that.
And what time do you stream, Stefan?
Oh, normally 7. Normally 7. So it's usually before the agenda. So you can watch both of us. No excuse not to.
Good stuff. We are like brothers at the two channels, the Man United Agenda and the United Philosophy as well. As you can see, Stefan comes on our show many times, and this is what the community is all about. So go and check out the United Philosophy. All right, guys, it's been a great show. We've won again. That doesn't mean anything. We're not closing any gaps, really, regarding top 4, top 5. But we're playing Burnley at the weekend. Hopefully we can beat them. We'll be back tomorrow, probably with a preview show, isn't it right, Bath Time?
Yeah, I think so. Unless we want to discuss the differences between the Iliad and the Odyssey, because a lot of people think that the Trojan horse is in the Iliad when it isn't. That's from the Odyssey.
There's a thing asked today. I wonder Medusa's hair with the snakes on it. This screams, isn't it?
Yes.
That someone asked a question. I wonder if she's got down at her muff.
Brilliant.
I don't know why it came to me. I've read that today. Someone was asking.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Amanda.
I know it's one of the ones where someone's sleeping. I bet he's thinking about, there's a partner in bed. You've seen that meme where
Yeah,
he's sleeping in bed. I wonder what he's thinking about that girl. And he's thinking, I wonder if Medusa's got a chick down. Oh dear.
all right, end the stream.
All right, I'm going to end the stream. Big up, guys. Hey, listen, thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight. We got the result. And as I say, we're losing interest fast in Man United because nothing to play for apart from the FA Cup, which everyone says we're going to lose anyway. So we're here to just have a fun and some laughter and talk about our holidays. So from Bath Time, from the United Philosophy, Stefan, from myself, we'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock with Stefan on United Philosophy. We'll be back at 9. Later, guys.